What up everyone, it's your man XMan87 here, bringing you another top 10 video, and what I have for you today is my top 10 favorite women of Marvel Legends, where I'll be ranking my favorite female figures of 2022. So another subcategory list I wanted to do for fun, and I know I get many requests of lists such as these to do. So if you want it, X gon' give it to you. Everything goes here, so you'll see a mix of movies, animation, comics, etc. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now let's get into some honorable mentions, and in no particular order. First up, we have Siren. I know I was hard on this figure for not having an alternate screaming head, but the default head is still a pretty sculpt, great paint apps, and I like the soft goods cape. Next up is the Invisible Woman. I was supposed to get this in December 2021, but due to delays from posts, I didn't get it until early 2022. I've been wanting a really good clear version of Invisible Woman in the line. The head is the same from the retro wave, but only this time we're saved by not looking at that atrocity of a face since we can't see her. If she wasn't on the outdated body, she'd be on my top 10, no doubt. Zombie Scarlet Witch. I like the new parts with tattered patterns throughout. Only downside is they didn't sculpt the torn sections of the pants and just lazily painted some zombie flesh tones. Face sculpt is amazing though. Moonstone has been updated with face print tech, alt hands, a new upper torso, and newly sculpted double jointed pinless arms that are very muscular. They didn't follow through with the pinless legs, unfortunately. The last Walgreens exclusive for those that aren't aware. Agony came out nice and I ended up liking her more. New hands and feet on the Shriek body. The head sculpt is money. Lastly, Firestar from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Didn't want to include her again in my top 10 since she was on it last year, so I didn't feel right doing it as she would take up someone else's spot, but I did want to give her recognition here, being updated on the Shriek body as she's double jointed on the elbows for better posing and completely pinless. Updated hands and the face print tech makes her head sculpts glow more. The winner for top honorable mention will be announced during the halfway mark of the countdown. Now with that said, let's get ready to count down! Kicking things off at the number 10 spot is Kate Bishop. I'm happy to see they finally implemented butterfly joints on a Legends female figure in I don't know how long. It's been so long, I just forgot and lost track. Since the Toy Biz days, right? Holy crap, if that's the case, then Hasbro didn't even put forth the effort to invest in that POA for about 15 years since they had the license. It's something that should have been given years ago. But back to the figure, it's nice to have those butterfly joints for an archer along with double jointed elbows. Makes the poses feel rewarding. They should have included an arrow for her to hold to complement more archery poses. She's got a great sculpt from top to bottom when you look at the texturing, wrinkles, and all other details surrounding it. I love me some Haley Steinfeld. She's got this exotic kind of look to her that I just find extremely attractive. The head sculpt is great. I'm happy with the way they captured her likeness. So overall, a solid offering. At the number 9 spot is Spinneret, probably the most underrated and underappreciated figure this year, mainly due to being overshadowed by the new Spider-Man in the same pack. But Spider-MILF here is one of this year's female standouts as one of the best females they've ever put out. When you look at this figure's presentation, it has a lot to offer. Articulation is solid, only needs a double diaphragm and butterfly joints. Her design is lovely. This also has the best cobwebbing pattern they've executed. Refer to my Renew Your Vows review as I break that down. Unfortunately, they missed applying the paint patterns in her palm, which loses some comic accuracy points. The masked head is perfect to me. The unmasked head I felt was diminished by the digital touch-up instead of enhancing it, but the rest of the accessories are fine. I appreciate the new wall crawling hands, a welcomed addition to my Spider-Verse / Spider-Geddon display. At number 8, She-Hulk. Despite how you may feel about the show, it's not about the show here, it's about the figure, because I know how to detach my emotions from a show when judging a figure. I keep that shit separate. But this She-Hulk figure is done really well. The painting on her attire has lots of details going on and brings out the sculpture, which fully brings out that scaling to complement her stature. I know I hear some folks say they're using this for a comic She-Hulk. I won't go that far as I hate crossing over movie and comics. Very rarely can they blend in, such as the likes of Conchu and Cole Obsidian, for example. But hey, do as you please. That to me is just saying that we really need a great updated classic comic version of She-Hulk. Good articulation and the head sculpt is the main attraction for me. An alt head was needed though, as she didn't provide much accessories. However, she's beautiful and the green skin tone is screen accurate. Again, a job well done. At number 7, we have the mighty Thor. When she first came out, it looked very promising that she was going to be in the top 3, but then she started trickling lower down the list as I was getting more figures of characters I had more of an attachment to. It's not a bad thing, she's still a top figure and might be higher on everyone else's list. There's just some characters that win my heart over. Anyways, the figure is downright awesome. Light on accessories, but the rest makes up for most of it, I'd say. All new sculpt here, and it'll surely keep your eyes busy by admiring the details, but majority of the paint is mainly focused on the torso and barely anything else. They need to learn how to balance their paint around the figure. Her arms look great, they look jacked like Natalie Portman's arms. Love how dedicated she was in prepping for the role. Overall, the figure has some very solid aesthetics. Great portraits, the Natalie Portman likeness is uncanny. It's what makes the figure for me. And now to put the normal head back on. What the f***? Bruh. Oh, this review's over. Sorry guys, I'm done. And at the number 6 spot, we have Silk. And yeah, if you saw my review of that post-con exclusive that broke on me at the neck a few years ago, just know that I'm happy to report that this new Silk doesn't have the Gwen Stacy feature this time around. I didn't get a chance to review it for Redemption, but since I'll pass on reviewing, I can take this opportune time to talk about it. Now, this is what a true update looks like. Not the one before, which didn't feature anything new but a redeco and a reuse of Spider-Woman's webbed hand. She's updated on the new Shriek buck, which is a better fit for her, but they really need to come up with a buck that has double diaphragm joints and shoulder rockers for these agile females to capitalize on articulation. I like the 2 new portraits we get, one with and without the mask. She looks a little more Korean as the last one looked like a Latina. Paint apps are cleanly applied. I really like the new webbing effects they gave her this time around, as you can see it shooting out through the index and middle finger, keeping it more comic accurate than the last one. Overall, a good portion of accessory selections to choose from, and she's just that damn nice. And the winner for top honorable mention is DAZZLER. This updated Outback version of DAZZLER is what I wanted back in the first X-Men retro wave, which became a peg-warming queen. That's not to say it was a bad looking figure, as I found that one to have some good qualities to it, but this one just trumps it in every way. I like the full spandex look. Unfortunately, I got a bad QC with a huge plastic scratch on her forearm. Besides that flaw, the paint apps are so clean. Better articulation with this new body. Alt hands, same effects we've seen a million times before, just multicolored. The head sculpt is gorgeous with that hairstyle and eyeshadow, making her truly blossom. So DAZZLER takes top honors, and with that, let's continue to the top 5. Coming in at number 5 is Dark Phoenix, another update that was severely needed, as the last time she was offered was in the Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack with Cyclops, which was difficult to acquire. Now it gives collectors a far better chance as a regular release. That version had gold and a darker red. Whether you are a fan of the bright colors or not, it's indubitably a great update with its newest features. I just preferred the height on the last figure, which was taller. They really need to make a pinless taller female buck so that the Shriek body doesn't get played out and fatigued quickly. The paintwork is pristine on mine. She gets accessories with a Phoenix Flame effect and all hands this time, but no all heads. I like the head sculpt a lot and is a necessity for your X-Men display, or for those who are building a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 roster for fun. Seriously, you can't deny adding a character of this magnitude in your collection. Coming in at number 4, ELEKTRA. This ELEKTRA blew me away, as I've been wanting one in her white costume for ages since the Toy Biz Urban Legends 4-pack, which I had, but that figure had a ton of issues on mine. Hasbro was real slick with this white ELEKTRA. If you recall, her, Silk, and Sif were in a fan vote a few years back where Silk was the winner and the losers of that vote were said to never be made. But I see what they did here, as this was made on the newer female body and not the older one that was in that vote poll, so by doing this, they don't look like liars. In all fairness, it's not the same since it's different, but still slick. Can't complain, as it's a better version now on the Shriek body with double pinless arms and legs. But look at this wondrous hair. The sculpt is absolutely mind-blowing and is giving me some real classic Typhoid Mary vibes with that hairstyle. Then you have her headband sash flowing through it too, adding some more dynamic on top of something already dynamic. This is the best ELEKTRA figure already. Fists, gripping hands to hold her swords and size, so she's heavily equipped with the right accessories. The head with the do-rag on is a A++, as well with the hair flowing downwards diagonally. They nailed her likeness on this one. You know we'll get a red one. I'm calling it this year that we do. I'll put this one on my A4/Femme Fatales display shelf. At the number 3 spot, we have Nova. Frankie Ray Nova has been on my wish list forever. Sure, you can say that Elektra looks better, I won't argue that, but there's just something about getting my wish granted for a character I wanted for so long that I can't help but to favor it more from that desire. I have plenty of Legends Elektra figures, never had a Frankie Ray Nova, so being a first time in the line is always special. The head sculpt is absolutely marvelous with that trailblazing hair. That was the main highlight to get right on the figure, and they nailed it 100%. She's got some alt hands, but also introduces a new accessory with this flame effect for a flight stand, in which you can plug onto Galactus's hand as if he's summoning her. High fun factor feature there. It looks great, and you'll get more replay value adding it to any of your fire-based type of characters. Just wish the figure was painted in a metallic gold to give it more of that cosmic feel. But after taking photos of her, the gold plastic does reflect nicely to light on the positive side. This Herald was a must-have, and she was the right choice for one of the HasLab tiers. She definitely adds some spark to my cosmic shelf display. At the number 2 spot, we have Quake. Quake is such an outstanding figure, and if you saw my top 10 comic-based Marvel Legends of 2022, then you already know she was going to be on this list. The interchangeability between her and Maria Hill is a lot of fun. They did everything right on this figure except for one thing, and that's Quake's gauntlets should have been painted in a metallic silver with a good wash to it. The paint is on everything else where it needs to be. She's on the Shriek body mold again, just with a new upper torso. You can already see them playing the Shriek body out before introducing newer female bucks. So many on this list with it, but when they do a reuse right, they usually knock it out of the park, and they did just that here. Mainly because the fun factor was swapping other female heads to expand on some female shield agents. The male shield agent helmets can work on these too, and if you want to spice it up some more, add the gray Black Widow's jetpack since that has a shield logo on it to equip on some of these. You'll have a fierce looking femforce. Army building is my damn jam and can't wait to go even more ham. Bars. We haven't had any female shield agents in about 12 years, I want to say, since the dark days. It'll be nice if they can add them as a multi-pack with different heads and weapons like they did with the men. All in all, one of my favorite Legends offerings for not just this year, but in the last few years. And at the number 1 spot, you guys already know, it's no surprise here, it is Rita Wayward, aka Spiral. Say it with me now. Greatest female Marvel Legends figure of all time, but you already know that. I already sung his praises as this is like the 4th of my countdown videos that she's been featured in, so this figure has the most appearances and therefore I don't want to sound redundant. But I just want to talk a little bit about what I've been doing to add some more play value and also what I plan on doing for some mods. Spiral is crazy powerful with a long list of powers and abilities, and so here I am borrowing the Blink Portal. This is another character you can use this accessory for since she's a teleporter. Also some mystical effects for the 6-armed sorceress. Tried to do one of her iconic sword dance poses, which is how she casts many of her spells by dancing or using her swords. The more complicated the spell, the more elaborate her dance is. Actually, fun fact, did you know that when Doctor Strange lost the title of Sorcerer Supreme, Spiral was one of 20 candidates to replace him? Just goes to show you that she's one of the most powerful characters in all of Marvel. I think I mentioned last time getting an additional Spiral to display more open hands on the left side and possibly adding another cybernetic arm. I wanted to capture her Wolverine and the X-Men animated look to display 4 cybernetic arms, but I can only do 3 on one side. But the show had 2 cybernetic arms on each side. It's easier if I just go for the 90s animated series with just the 2 on the left side, but we'll see how modding goes when I buy a couple of extras. Really hope they make her in her X-Force costume, and this is another one to add to your Marvel vs. Capcom roster too. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the ideas shared and some fun facts about the character. The figure is phenomenally marvelous with an all new sculpt and the right curves. She's more than the total package. Expect her to dominate another year in 2023 on most top 10s for those that didn't get her in 2022. Now I kick it back to you. What was your favorite Marvel Legends female figure of 2022? Which females made it into your top 10? And also, which female characters are on your wish list to be released in 2023 that haven't been revealed already? Deathbird, Lalandra, and Destiny are up there for me. Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thank you for watching another top 10 video. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xmanny87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace, peace.